Hi, welcome to Undead Yarn. My name is Heidi. This is episode 74, and it has been a while. I hope everybody's doing well. Before you try to figure out what it is on my shirt. This is my shirt that I got a couple years ago. It's a True Blood shirt that I got in a special package at Comic-Con. You had to be one of the first certain number of people to get into the room for the for the talk, and I was one of the first. I think it was 50 people, and they give you a little ticket, and then you go later and you pick up your swag, and this was one thing that was in my bag. I pulled it on today. I thought, I miss True Blood. I wish there was another good vampire show on. There is Penny Dreadful, but it's different, and it's not really focused on vampires. It's kind of all out supernatural. And if you ever watch that show, make sure your kids are not around. I'm on season 3, and there's some things that I find disturbing in it, so I would not have children watch that show. But it is a good horror show. I have so many things to talk about, and I did not make show notes because I figured right now I'm getting ready for the yarn crawl. I wasn't going to dye anything this week, and then I remembered, oh my gosh, next week is yarn crawl, and I have a trunk show Friday and Saturday. So while I probably have enough yarn, there are certain things that people like at that shop that I want to make sure that I have dyed for the shop when I go next week, so I am going to end up doing dyeing. Anyway, I guess what I will do is go ahead and show you some of the things I've been working on. And I'm outside today. It's incredibly lovely this morning. It's only 70 degrees here in Texas, which is a big deal because we don't really usually get any cooler weather until probably the end of October. It's usually still warm in October. Anyway, here's one thing that I've been working on, and I can't remember if I showed these last time. I think I did. Oh geez, I've got a stitch marker stuck in there. Here's my stitch marker I got from Laura Smoot. And if you guys don't know, she has put out a pattern called, I think it's called Fright Night, and it's using my yarn, and it's really amazing sock pattern. It has bats on it, and it's color work. And on Saturday, the October 1st, I'm going to be putting up some pre-orders for kits for that sock pattern. So if y'all take a look at my feed on Instagram, I have a picture of the sock pattern, and I also saw Andre Sue Knits had shown a picture of the sock pattern because Laura had gifted her the sock pattern on her podcast. So go ahead and look on my Instagram feed. It will be up in my Etsy shop, and it uses graveyard, and then it uses some red and some black yarn that I'm going to dye up and put in mini skeins in there so that y'all can have enough yarn to make the kit. Anyway, what prompted me thinking of that is that these are my Halloween socks. I have them in my Casey's Pockets to Go bag that I got at Houston Fiber Fest. And here is where I am right now. I did finish the first sock. I think I might finish these early enough that I can make another pair of Halloween socks, which is exciting. This is what it's funny. I don't know that it's showing up right there. It is showing up right there. It's a yellow, orange, and black. And I did finish one sock. I don't remember if I showed it last time, but I did finish a sock. And here is one of my socks that I finished, the first one. And this is in Diabolical yarn, and it's in the Firefly colorway, which I believe is a reference to the show Firefly. So this is one thing that I've been working on. And there was another thing I'm working on, but it doesn't look like I brought it out here. So I'll have to talk about it next week. It was in a bag I got at Stitches, Texas. What I'm probably going to do, since I have so much stuff to talk about, I will talk about Stitches, Texas and Into the Wool, and I will show some of the swag from Into the Wool, but Stitches, Texas stuff I'll probably talk about next time because there's too much stuff. Mostly because a lot of stuff that I bought since the last podcast, and I just never showed it. Such as, oh wait, before I do that, I'm working on these socks. I did finish a pair of socks. I finished these socks while I was at Stitches, Texas. Kitchenered the toe, or not Kitchenered. Yes, Kitchenered the heel, because I used an afterthought heel. And these are in my Hexen Beast colorway. And I have one skein. Oh my goodness, look at that. I knit one long. It looks like I knit one longer than the other. That is so wild. And they both fit me because I put them on, but one is longer than the other. Oh my goodness. Anyway, they're mine and they're going in my shoes, so, and I still think they're beautiful because I love the colors. I do have one skein of this in fingering weight in the shop, and I'm going to put up another one. I did do a skein of Hexen Beast in my new bulky yarn, and so that will be up in the shop. The bulky yarn has 137 yards. So that's my finished object. I am working on a less simple shawl with my new bulky yarn, and I did not dye it, and everybody was surprised, and everybody was asking me, are you going to dye it when you're done? And I said, no, this is going to be a nice squishy cream shawl that will match everything. So I'll show that next time. So let me show some stuff that I got before Into the Wool. Or actually, it's been kind of trickling in between the last podcast and this podcast. So some of it I got before Into the Wool, some of it I just got recently. And there's one thing I forgot to bring over, so I'll show that next time. I did get my last shipment of hedgehog fibers. They're, of course, beautiful, as normal. This is my last shipment of the Hedgehog Fibers Sock Club. I feel like the price was pretty reasonable. This one on this side is Witching Hour, which is appropriate for Halloween. And then the other one, what is this one called? The pink one is called Cat's Pajamas. And they're speckled loveliness. And you will see them more up close when I actually get around to knitting them. They are in their, I think this is their standard base. I believe it's 90% merino and 10% nylon. Yes, 90% superwash merino, 10% nylon. And this is the only club I've ever been in that I loved every single thing that I got, I think. I think most clubs there's been like one or two things I didn't like that much because they weren't really my colors, but I have to say I loved everything that I got. And it probably helps that you get two skeins, because if you don't like one as much as the other, you're still happy. And they're complementary, so they can go together. I also got, and I've been wanting this for a while, I got some Knitter's Nightmare in Splatterpunk, which I just love this colorway. And I think it's one of her more popular colorways, because usually when she puts it up, it's gone quickly. This one is in her Baddie sock, which is 80-20 superwash merino nylon, 400 yards. And it is just beautiful. The colors are showing up pretty good, except that's not really a yellow. To me, it looks yellow on the screen, and it's really a chartreuse. It's a green. So those are two things I got. I also got an order from the Woolly Thistle, and I don't think I talked about this last time. I can't remember, so I'll show this quickly. It's West Yorkshire Spinners. The Woolly Thistle is run by the lady who has the NH Knits podcast, and she is carrying all the British yarns that are overseas, so you can buy them from her and not have to pay all that shipping. So I was very excited to get this skein. She was also having a discount code, so this stuff is not that expensive to begin with. With the discount code, it was really a great deal. And it's 75% wool and 75% nylon. And it doesn't say it on here, but I'm pretty sure this is a BFL base. And it's self-striping. And then there is one other thing that I bought that I did not show. That I think this is the only other thing that was not from Into the Wool. I bought the Jinx yarn colorway for Halloween because it's beautiful. It's called Rapture, and it is a 7-row stripe. And sorry you're going to hear crinkling. I don't want to take things out until I'm ready to use them, because if I don't, I have to put it in a bin or something, because we do have carpet beetles here in Texas, and I have found holes in my merino sweaters that were in my closet. So I know that I need to protect my yarn. I can't just keep it out. I know a lot of people can do that, and I'm jealous of you because I love looking at my yarn, but I have to put most of it away. Now this actually has some nylon content, so it'd probably be okay. They don't tend to, it seems like they tend to go for the 100% merino or the 100% cashmere, of course, sweaters. Anyway, that's why I usually keep the stuff in the package until I'm going to use it, because of carpet beetles. I do have two things that I was that I was given that I'm going to be putting up for giveaway. And one of them is from, I think it's HD Yarns. This looks like JD Woodworks. I don't know if I have her card in here, but it will be up in the, it'll be up, oh, here it is. I've got it. JD Craft Shop. She was at Into the Wool, and she graciously gave me this to give away on the podcast. This is one of her nitty naughties that you can put together and pull apart yourself. So you can travel with this, and it's very sturdy. You can see I just did that, and it still looks good. It's good. It's a sturdy nitty naughty. So this is going to be a giveaway. I will put up a giveaway thread for this after the podcast today, and this will be up at least until the next podcast. I do have another thing that I was given for a giveaway, but I'm going to do that one the following podcast. The following podcast, I will be giving away the Skein of Yarn by Daisy Knits, which is just luscious. It's 50% merino and 50% tencel. It's just gorgeous. And my dog is whining at me, so I hope you don't hear that. I'm not sure what he wants, but he's going to have to wait, because I got to do the podcast. Okay, so let me get all this stuff out that does not have anything to do with Into the Wool, and I will show you this beautiful bag. This is an amazing bag that we got for Into the Wool, and I have to tell you, my vending experience there was just wonderful. I really enjoyed the retreat. It's in a beautiful area. The company was great. The food was good, and the price was right. So if you have time to go to a knitting retreat and you haven't been to one before, or you just want to go to a knitting retreat, I think this is a wonderful one to go to. She changed the dates. This year it was over Labor Day, but she changed the dates to later in September, so the weather will probably be even better. We were lucky. We had beautiful weather, but the weather will probably be even better because it's going to be later in September next year. So anyway, this is the bag, and this bag is fabulous. It is very sturdy. I love the stripes. I love that the logo's on there. It's got a pocket here, and it's got a zipper on the top, which is amazing. I love when they have zippers, because then you can put stuff in and zip it up, and you don't have to worry about it coming out. So anyway, I have a lot of stuff to show you guys. And most of this is trade. Some of it, I think one or two things I bought, most of this is trade. The vendors were very generous and were very happy to trade with me, so that was really nice. The first thing I wanted to show you is my friend, one of my friends brought a huge bag of yarn, and she was so generous, like 2 bags actually, and they were massive bags of yarn, and they had the best yarn in them. They had like 3 Irish Girls, and I don't remember what else, but it was all just beautiful yarn, and she put it out on the table, and her name was Katie. Everybody like went nuts and just started grabbing stuff. But I was lucky enough that I was rooming with her, and I roomed with her and Summer from, she and Summer do Kitchen Stitches podcast, and Jeanette of Bookish Stitcher was there too. And I had the chance to look at everything beforehand, which was great. So I got Crafts of a Dragon, and this is hand spun, and it's a BFL silk, and it's 114 yards, and look at that gorgeousness. And it's not showing as much green as it is. It's interesting. Usually when I'm outside, the colors look better. It'll be interesting to see what it looks like when I actually go back and watch the podcast. But it's beautiful. It's got blues and greens and yellows, and it's much brighter than that. I love it. And I'm looking forward to knitting it up and seeing what it's going to look like. I know it would make a great hat, but I'm thinking maybe a cowl. It's really pretty. So I grabbed that, and I think I grabbed some Noro, but I probably didn't put it in here. There was some Noro sock yarn in there, but honestly, Noro sock yarn, everybody's seen that, so that's not anything special, so I'm probably not going to show it. Hold on, I'm going to go grab my little dog because he wants to come out. Come here, Bubba. Come here. Come here. This is Pogo. He's my little tongue boy. When he got his eye removed, he also had to have like almost all his teeth pulled because he's really old. So now his tongue sticks out all the time. But this is a little boy who wanted to come out, so I went and picked him up because he was whining and making noise. So this is Pogo. Down you go, Pogi. Okay. So let's see, what else do I have to show you guys? Oh, oh, I do have the Noro yarn, but it's just Noro sock yarn. But that's why she had a lot of really nice stuff in her, she had a lot of really nice stuff in those bags, and it was very generous of her to bring it, so thank you so much, Katie, that was really nice. Let's see, I guess now I'll just go ahead and start talking about stuff that I traded for. We did a yarn swap. Oh, this was not the yarn swap. This was something else. Let's see. In the bag, I'll show you some of the stuff we had in the bag. We got, I love this. We got this, and it's, I don't know who it's by. It says Hex RX. And it's really cool. It's for notions. And she also gave us a little pair of scissors that fold down that came with it. But I've also filled it up with stitch markers. I love how it opens up like this. And I filled it up with some of the stitch markers I got. These are Whimsy stitches right here. And you can't really see them, but there's like little acorns, and there's a raccoon. It's really cute. And then over here I have some stitch markers that were made by Summer's mom, who's Absolute Wonder on Ravelry. And she had donated those to the podcast. And right in my hand I'm holding, somebody had given me a sticky note for a pattern that I liked that she had, that she was wearing. So we got those. Dana gave us each one of these for helping for vending, and Jeanette got one too because she helped me with the vending experience, which thank you, Jeanette, because it was very busy. Since there were only 8 vendors, we were all very busy, especially the first day. We had an hour for vending, and then the second day was 2 hours. So the 2 hours was more spread out, but the first day was really, really busy. And oh my gosh, thank you, Jeanette, for talking to people and guiding them while I was taking the monies. So let's see, what else did I get that oh, this I traded with Summer because she got a colorway in her bag. Did I trade her no, I didn't trade her that. This came in my bag, and I like Marigold Jen. I have one of her skeins, but this is only the second one, and I'm glad I have this one because the other one I have is a single, and you really have to be careful about what you knit with a single so that it doesn't pill and fall apart. This is sock weight, and it's BFL nylon, and 464 yards, so it's a different put up than what I normally have. So it's very pretty. It's pinks and purples. That came in my bag. Everybody got some yarn in their bag, and we got these neat little things. I haven't opened it up yet, but I believe these are sticky notes, and I love those little sticky tabs. I'd like to put them in my pattern book so I can mark where I am, and it came with a little notebook into the wool. And then what else did we get in our bag? I may have to go through and just show things randomly because I put all the stuff I wanted to show from Into the Wool in this bag. This I got from the trade. We had a sock yarn trade, and somebody got a color that, I think it was a sock yarn trade. It was a sock yarn trade or some other trade, and I traded for this one because I had something that they wanted. This is Rocky Mountain Dye Works, and I wanted this because it's definitely, I mean, you can see these are my colors, my fall colors. The browns and the yellows and the golds and the greens. But I also wanted it because it's superwash colonial wool and nylon, and I'm very interested to see how this knits up and how it wears. I'm probably going to make socks with it just because I love to knit socks. I love to wear, I wear all my knit socks probably more than any other thing that I make, and I like to see how they wear. So far I've only done BFL and merino socks, so I'm interested to see how these knit up and how they wear. Then I also, see, I can't remember. I know I traded for this too because somebody wanted the blue, and somebody won when they pulled out their bag. They got this yellow, and I could tell on their face they did not want yellow. And I got blue, and blue is not my favorite, so we traded. So I got some Lydia's yarn. This is 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon, 460 yards. And it's definitely my colors because I love yellow. So the next things I'm going to show you are things that I traded for or bought. Did I show this one? Oh, this one I couldn't remember. I traded with Summer because I had got something that she wanted and I wanted something that she had. And this is self-striping, and this is from Beast Cotton Sea. And this is a sock yarn, and it says 175 yards, but that looks like a lot more than 175 yards to me. And it says it's 100% superwash merino. This looks like enough to make socks to me. It says 175 yards, but that looks more than that to me. So we'll see. Let's see. Okay. I traded for this from Two Guys Yarn. Jean and David are just wonderful people. I got to know them really well at Stitches, Texas. They were at, well, David wasn't, but Jean was at, he was at Into the Wool, and he was right next to us spending, so we talked to him a lot. And I got this one. I love their tweed, and this is called Secretary's Lipstick. And it's funny, I knew I wanted a tweed yarn, but I didn't know which one, and I kept looking back at the red, and I don't have a lot of red in my stash, so I went for this one. And I'm sure this is going to be a pair of socks. It just has to be. And this is 85% superwash BFL and 15% Donegal net, and it's 435 yards. So this is beautiful, and I will tell you those two are some of the nicest people I've ever met. They're very nice people, and I consider them friends now because we spent a lot of time talking at Stitches, Texas. Let's see. Oh, I got this from Lydia's Yarn. I traded with her. It's very exciting. I think this is going to be a shawl. I can't see it being anything else. It's a gradient with, look, a little speckled skein. I think this would be a great shawl. Somebody suggested that I knit a shawl and then put this on the edge. I'm not sure. I might mix it up. I might put the speckle in the middle of the shawl. I don't know. But it's 450 yards, and it says limited edition on it. So I am looking for a pattern for this. If you guys know of a pattern that has a gradient with maybe a pop of color in it, let me know. I know I'm going to do a shawl. And then from Rock and String Creations, are these both? No, this one's from Twist Fiber Studio. This was her colorway for the retreat, and it's just beautiful. I love it, Ashley. This is called Mountain Laughter, and it's 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon, 400 yards. But look at those colors. And she had a bag that went with it too. But I have too many bags, so I'm trying not to buy too many bags. I did get a bag from Whimsy Stitches, which I do not have here. I will have to show that next week. It's up in my study. But I bought it because it's New Orleans themed, and my family's from Louisiana, so I had to have it. I wanted to have that one. But I will show that next week. So from Rock and String, I did get two. I traded for one and I bought the other one. This was her colorway from the retreat, and I believe she has this up for sale on her website now. I just thought the colors were beautiful, and it was an unusual color striping that I hadn't seen before. She calls this one Mountain Twilight, and it's on her Jitterbug Sport, which is 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon, and there's 326 yards. So I got a sport weight because I am starting to really like sport weight socks, and that's a good amount of yardage. And I love those colors. And then I also got, of course I had to get this, Ninja Chickens. Maria of Ninja Chickens was there, and I got to know her well too. We had a lot of fun hanging out with you, Maria. And she enabled me into getting this because she knows I love zombies. You guys all know that. This is called Zombies Walk at Midnight, and this was another big seller for her. Rockin' String at the retreat. It's really pretty, and it has some stripes that have like speckles of red in them, like blood. But it's a beautiful self-striping colorway. And this is on her, this one is the sock yarn. This is on her Super Sock, which is 75% merino, 25% nylon, 460 yards. So I got 2 very fun skeins of yarn from Rockin' String. And then I showed you Lydia, I showed you 2 guys, and then from Dana, I have a lot of Dana's yarn, but there was one color in particular I really wanted that for some reason I seem to always miss when they put it up on updates, and this is Gracie Pearl. And she was generous and gave us each a discount code, all the vendors, and this is called Gracie Pearl. Of course, everybody's heard this one. This is a beautiful colorway, and I got it in her Sport. The Sport she's going to discontinue, and I believe this is probably similar. No, it's not the same, because mine has Superwash Merino and nylon. This just says Superwash Merino, 274 yards. But she said she's going to discontinue this base. But I told you I really am enjoying sport weight yarn for socks, and I sure have enough fingering weight yarn that I could use some sport weight. So I bought this, and I didn't bring them over, but I'll show them next time. She went and made some colorways for Halloween that were from Rocky Horror Picture, and they're gorgeous. So I bought the mini skein collection so I could have a little bit of each, but I'll show that next week. I think that might be all the stuff that I got it Into the Wool. We also have, I don't know where I put it, it's somewhere in here, but we also got these little these great little, oh, here it is. These great little notepads that I need to put in every project bag I have, because I have a lot of project bags. But she went ahead and put on here where you are in the pattern when you left it. Because you know we all get up. Yarn Harlot has a joke about you get up to go answer the phone and then you come back 6 months later to your project. And that is so true. This says where I left off before I shoved this project in the back of the closet, and it has room for the pattern, the yarn you use, the needle size, where you were, when you stop. I love it. Whole pack. Very smart idea, Dana. So that was Into the Wool, and like I said, I would highly recommend, if you have not been to a retreat before, I would highly recommend attending this one next year. And with that, let me talk a little bit about Stitches Texas. I did about the same at Stitches Texas as I did last year. I was kind of hoping to do better just because there weren't as many indie dyers there this year. I would say the majority of the vendors were yarn shops. Or just in general yarn suppliers. There, I want to say maybe like 8 to 10 indie dyers, and it's a pretty big show. So, like I said, I did all right. I did about the same as last year, which was okay. I mean, I did make a profit. That's good. But I was a little disappointed because I thought I was going to do better this year than last year, just because I know a lot more people this year, and I know a lot more people are using my yarn now, but it was about the same. I will say I'm very proud and happy of the people that I shared the booth with, my friends Rachel and Brenda from Twisted Owl Fiber. They, I think, were the hit, the new indie hit of the show. They have, basically they do almost all, not all, almost all self-striping, but they do some lovely variegated colorways as well. They had a really cute booth, and she rolls her balls into, or she rolls her skeins into a ball just like they do with Lollipop Yarns and Nomadic Yarns. So she has a really great presentation. And I knit socks. I think I showed y'all. I knit socks with some of her yarns. She does do a nice job with the dyeing. So I think she was the big new hit at Stitches Texas as far as indie dyers this year. And she and her mom will be at Vogue Knitting Live in Minneapolis in November. If you are going to be there, you should check them out. Stop by their booth. They have a great product, and they're very lovely people. I did enjoy meeting new people. I had never really talked to Rick of Ron. I always keep messing his name up. Ron of Buffalo Wool Company. I got to talk to him. He had an amazing shawl in his booth that he said they were gonna. It was for Stevie Nicks, so I thought that was pretty incredible. It was huge, and it had. I don't even remember. I want to say he said $1,800 worth of beads on it. It was beautiful. And they, of course, have an amazing product. And I also got to know Erin Lane. I had never really talked to her. I got a chance to talk to her. She's really funny. And she has some really cool bags. I didn't get a chance to get one this time, but next time, probably, I'm guessing she's going to be at DFW. I'll have to get the one she has there. But she had the cutest bags. And she does this thing called sheeple. And there were little sheep on the bags, and the one I loved was the Star Wars one because it had BB-8 made of yarn. It was so cute. I think those are the two people that I got to know that I hadn't had a chance to talk with before. Most of the other vendors that I spoke with I knew from before, and I want to say thank you to all my friends who came by. That made the show so nice. And several of y'all sat with me in the booth and helped me to pass the time. It was really nice. They are going to be there again next year. I'm not sure that I'm going to do it again. It's 4 days, and you know, the school year, it's only been a month. This month has been a whirlwind because I went back to school and had 2 shows, so I'm not sure if I'm going to do Stitches, Texas next year. I probably won't. But there is going to be another year, and who knows, maybe I'll go and check it out if they have some good vendors this year or next year. So what I'm doing right now is I am getting ready for the yarn crawl. I will be at the Happy U for the 7th and the 8th of October. Those are the first 2 days of the crawl. So please come visit me and say hello if you see me there. I'm going to be bringing a lot of gradient yarns that I've just started dyeing. I don't think I will have self-striping. I will have a lot of variegateds, and I'm going to have my Thanksgiving and Halloween colorways there. And I will show you next time. I'm going to show the shawl I made with my Thanksgiving colorway. I have posted it on Instagram, but it's been a while, so I may do another repost and show what the skeins look like. I did a thing where I have 2 colors in one, and I will explain that more next time, so that you can rotate the colors for any project, for either socks or for a shawl. Anyway, that's kind of what I'm doing right now. I'm trying to dye some minis too for the show, or for the trunk show next week, and that's kind of where I am right now. I was going to talk about a book that I've been reading. I just finished. It's by Ted Decker. It's called Priest Graveyard. It was amazing. It was really, really intense, and by the end I was really sad for the characters. They're really a mess, but they're very interesting, and they have their own like code of, you know, like Dexter had his code of how it was okay to kill. They kind of have the same code, and one of them has a really sad and pretty heartbreaking background. Characters were well-rounded or well-formed in the book, and I think the plot was really good. It had me on the edge until the end. And I found out Ted Decker is actually from Austin. I didn't know that. That's the second book of his that I've listened to on tape, and it was just as good as the first one. So I would recommend that. I did listen to a book with Jeanette on the way to Into the Wool. We listened to A Man Called Uva, which is very popular right now, and it's about a man that I kept saying, I swear he's autistic. I think he's autistic. It's like, those are my students grown up. It was such a heart-wrenching, not heart-wrenching, that actually was kind of heartwarming at the end. That was a good book. I really enjoyed it, and I think that they showed what it's like to be somebody who's different very well. The author used just amazing, she had amazing word choices and descriptions, and I think it was just very well done. And the other book we listened to was The Maze Runner. So I have been reading off and on, and I am planning, I will say this, I'm planning to read something for the horror group on Goodreads. There's 2 books that they're going to read. I'm not sure which one. Probably the Robert McCannon one, because I think that's the one I can find easily. They're going to read The Mist by Stephen King, which I think might be a novella, because I've only seen it available in one place. If I do that one, I might have to buy it. I'm not sure. And the other book they're reading is by Robert McCannon, and I don't remember what the name of the book is at this point. But if you are on Goodreads and you like horror, there is a horror book club on there, and I did the reading with it last year. I'm not always good at keeping up on book clubs because I have a lot of other things going on. But I do want to read the October one because we all got like a special email. This is what we're doing for Halloween. And for the month of October, I have decided every day that I have a day off, I'm going to watch a horror movie. So I'm so excited about that because there's a lot of them I have in my queue that I have not watched yet because I kind of get caught up in the series things. Anyway, I should get going because I've got a lot of stuff to do, but I really wanted to say hello and let y'all know what I'm doing. I have not sent out the prizes yet for the knit spin die, but I do have everybody responded. Wonderful, wonderful, that's great. You guys all responded to me, so I do have your addresses and everything. And tomorrow is October 1st, so we're going to start our annual horror along tomorrow, and I'm planning to run it through October and November. And I did have, see, I just wanted to get this done a little bit too quickly. My friend Susanna IC has put out a shawl that's called Cordova, and it's knit with my skein of my Von Ferry base in the colorway Nevermore, which is an extra color I put out for Halloween that I put out specially so that she could design with it. And it's a purple and black mixture. We sold out of the patterns and all the yarn at Stitches, Texas, which was wonderful. I will be putting up some more of that, as well as the yarn for the socks that are made by Laura Smoot. And so watch Etsy tomorrow. I will be putting up I'll put up the pre-orders for the yarn for the socks. And as soon as I can, I will put up some more yarn for the shawl for Susanna IC. Anyway, thanks guys. Things have been going well. I've just been crazy busy, and I hope to speak with you guys again in 2 weeks. Bye. Oh, get busy knitting or get busy dying.